Good afternoon, everyone. Today with you again, podcast club of Amity University, and today our guest is Professor Gagandeep Sharma. Good afternoon, Professor.
Good afternoon to you.
Nice to have you here. Let's start with the first question. How did you get in the top 2% of the economy in the world?
Well, I think it's a very important question and very critical for you and for your viewers to understand the science behind it. Actually, there are two important things that I would like to say in response to this. Number one, we have to understand that no research is isolated in itself.
Yes.
We have to understand that, and the ultimate purpose of every research is to make the human life a little better for the next generations to come. That's what Shakespeare says in his play Hamlet. If your research is also focused in such a way that you are thinking that my research will have to contribute to make the human life better, in that case there will be more number of people who would be interested in reading your research, more number of people who would be interested in citing your research and using your research. If that happens, then rest of the things would fall into place by themselves. So that's the mantra that I followed. That's one thing. Two is that you have to ensure that you are not just talking about generic things. For example, when you're teaching in class or when you're going to a class of, for example, say business strategy, you have to talk about business strategy. You have to understand that your goal is to talk about business strategy eventually, and it is not just classroom teaching. It has to be impactful teaching for businesses to prepare their strategy. So with this mindset you have to go to the class. Similarly, when you are writing about business strategy, you will have to be very specific. So these are the two prominent mantras that I think are important, and I have tried to follow these over the last few years, which have led me to wherever I am.
Yes. And the next question is, what do you think, which specific domains in the economy needs to be researched more? Like which parts need more research has to be done?
Yeah, presently we are focusing quite a lot on 2-3 things. One is sustainability, because the life of the humankind is in threat. We have reached a stage where the environment is not good for us to live for next centuries. That's one, and therefore sustainability is a very relevant domain for now. Secondly, artificial intelligence is pushing the world to a new kind of challenge as well as opportunity. So we have to combine sustainability with artificial intelligence. And thirdly, third prominent thing, at least for the next 1 or 2 decades, is going to be the geopolity. The kind of the geopolitical situations which we are seeing, for example, in Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Palestine, and now we are also seeing some kind of geopolitical situations which are leading to the trade wars. Tariffs that are being imposed by the Trump administration in the present times. So these three, sustainable development, artificial intelligence, and geopolitics, not essentially in the same order, are the three critical things which we have to contextualize in doing our research, whether it is in managerial fields or economic fields or even in sciences, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and the next question is, you talk about the AI, and what do you think, how AI is going to change the job market and ultimately the economy of the world?
So I consider AI as a skill or skill set, and I also consider AI as an emerging domain. As a skill set, when we consider AI as a skill set, so it aids the humans in performing many tasks. If we consider AI only as a tool which will aid the humans in performing many tasks, many of the routine, repetitive, monotonous tasks which the humans were performing will now be performed by the artificial intelligence, or are already being performed by the artificial intelligence. So from that perspective, I see it as an opportunity. But at the same time, the point remains that it is going to take away certain jobs, but then it is also going to create certain jobs. The only thing that the universities have to understand and do is that they have to prepare the people for the AI age. Preparing the people for the AI age will be different than preparing the people for pre-AI age. At that time, what kind of skill sets we were offering were different. Now the skill sets that we would be offering would be different. As a result, the task is cut out more for the universities and institutions. Secondly, AI also keeps you on your toes. For example, I consider that as a teacher, for example, or as an academic, for example, is it a challenge that I have to, be aware that my role can be taken over by AI? Even if it was not the case, still I have to be very adaptive, I have to be very updated. So this comes as a very good signal that, okay, I'm aware that now my job as a teacher would be under threat if I'm not updating myself, if I'm not becoming interdisciplinary, if I'm not bringing the disciplines from sciences, social sciences, humanities, literature, ethics together, and then developing what I have to teach in the class. Therefore, AI is going to kill some jobs, but at the same time create jobs. And universities will have to respond in a way that they prepare the skill set which will be ready for the AI age as compared to the pre-AI age.
Thank you. And the last question, it is more personal. What is the best advice you ever received?
The best advice I ever received. Well, that's not only the last question, but that's also the most difficult one. I'll have to think for a minute, and I believe the best advice that I received was from my wife. It was to take every word that I speak very seriously, because the words that I speak would have a lasting impression. For example, what I've spoken in this podcast, I might just have said like that, but those who will be listening to it, they may swear by it.
Yes.
So therefore, it's particularly when you are in a profession where your words are important, you will have to speak every word very carefully. That's the advice that I have received rather recently, and I think it's one of the best advices that I've ever received.
Yes. Thank you. And that was the end of our podcast, and thank you for being with us.